Instagram? I'm building one right now. Marquez, oh, so you do follow me. Oh shit. Oh, bro, I was like, what the fuck? This is the third one I've seen today. Yeah, bro, I'm like, what is going on today, bro? I need to get my shit back on the road. Alright, so we found an abandoned SRT 4 shell. We're gonna go ask the guys, see if I can find the owner and see if they want to get rid of it. Maybe I can make some. How's it going, man?
Good.
My name's Daniel. I have a quick question for you, man.
Yes.
You gonna sell that shell by any chance?
My buddy is.
Oh, your buddy's
mine. Yeah.
Do you mind if I check it out?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we're passing by, and I've always seen the car there, but I never noticed it was an SRT4.
Yes.
I build SRT4, so
Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel for it, and record everything for it. So
Go for it.
I was like, yeah, man, I gotta stop by and see it. I've never personally owned the red shell, but the red is what caught our eye.
Bro.
You into neons yourself, or?
I had one like 10 years ago, but ended up trading it.
You want another one?
No, not anymore.
No. How come? What's your reason, man?
Transmissions.
You gotta build them. Well, unless you're aiming for some big boy power. Looks like it has an exhaust too. I have mine set at 500 daily AC power steering. Hasn't given me any issues. No third gear grind. I think it's just all depends how you drive it.
Yep.
Because I'm not a big heavy footer anymore. Yeah, they do get expensive. I'm on my third motor. Same trans, but third motor.
Yep.
They're fun though. Never find myself away from them for some reason.
Sweet.
But yeah, man, if I can leave you my phone number and see if he's interested, if he wants to get rid of it, you can shoot me a
Maybe
text
it is
or a call.
if you want to give him a call.
Yeah, sounds good. Perfect. Day 4.5. Got Michael cleaning out the interior to put the seats in. We do want to vacuum it, but I mean, it's gonna have to wait because I can't vacuum it here. So I'll get it all washed up when we get back. Yeah, once it's out, it'll look better. Right now it's just to get it running, but putting on the intake manifold right now. And right now I'm gonna go grab the injectors once I'm done with this and just start hooking everything up little by little. It's going pretty well. The only thing I am worried about is, oh wait, actually, oh, actually this one's better. Mine's broken, the bracket to hold on to the shifter cable. But, I mean the shifter cable, I'm sorry, the throttle cable. Don't listen to me, but everything's pretty much going in smoothly. Getting up the intake manifold right now. After the intake manifold, like I said, we're gonna get the fuel injectors and then hook up the hose and pretty much start hooking up all the accessories. I do have one more motor mount I need to grab from there, but I'm gonna save that for last just because it's gonna be the easiest thing to do. So, get back to it. So we're sitting here working under the car, and this boy walks up right behind me. Scares the shit out of Michael. It scares the shit out of me because I'm under the car.
I bumped my leg. Did not notice it.
Probably would have bit into us. That was just unexpected. That's dope though. Little tortoise.
Oh, blended in so well.
Hey, bro, he went under the car to check the build out, bro. Hey, bro, grab the tool right there, bro. Yeah. I don't bite it, but what you think of the build, bro? Ali. Yeah, bro. She said I missed something, bro. I might have missed something.
You missed a nut, bro. It's here somewhere, dog. I'll find it.
Alrighty, we got the fuel tank out last night. It's not that hard to get it out. There's a video on YouTube of some guy who does it already. I was able to do it really quickly mainly by myself. We kind of just let it drop and then they helped me slide it out and take off the fuel lines. But yeah, go for it. So right now we're spraying it with degreaser, just to get all that oil off from when I blew my motor. We covered I believe it's an evap line. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And we're dropping all the oil. Just make sure you don't get it directly in the filler neck. But other than that, it's one 15 millimeter bolt that holds, I believe, I don't know what it's called, but it's a box that sits right here. Then it's two 10 millimeters right here to drop this side of the box, and on the bottom it's 15, and then the gas tank is two 13 millimeters, and it's literally just two straps, and after the gas tank will fall. So it's pretty simple. You could see it right away when you get down there. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and clean this up and get that one ready, back rolling, so we can roll it forward and install the gas tank. Alright. We got some fresh E85. We hooked up the feed line for the fuel rail. I do got to take the fuel rail off right now, but we're gonna put the E in first. So. This food. Go fast, juice. I have to record all this, bro. Yes, I do. Everything, bro. Everything. Everything. Alrighty. So, behind the clutch, it's gonna be this right here. This is the clutch safety switch, and as you guys can see, the wire came out. So I'm gonna cut it, make it a little longer, and install the other one, because this one came out from the inside, which isn't good. The pain and the suffering that you go through on owning an SRT4. If you own an SRT4, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Whether if it's you have issues with your fuel pump, or with your ASD fuse blowing, or something just small and stupid from either people doing wiring wrong, or just learning from mistakes. So with this car, it has been a mission. As you guys have seen, it has been a fucking headache. Excuse my language, but it's been a fucking headache over and over and over. First it was the clutch switch, safety switch, had a shortage, so it kept blowing the ASD fuse. Had to fix that. Then we didn't have enough fuel for the fuel pump to prime, but I tried wiring different ways because the wiring it had was already low-key shot. Everything was falling apart, so I had to redo the wiring under the car. There was that. Then there was the harness, the starter trigger switch on my first harness went bad, but it was good on the second one. But my second harness is bad because it wasn't giving signal to the crankshaft position sensor and the camshaft position sensor. So it wasn't sparking, or it wasn't throwing fuel, or it wasn't sparking. I believe if those two don't read, it cuts off fuel and spark. Headache after headache after headache. And the main problem of this bitch not wanting to start was the immobilizer was not plugged in all the way, causing my car to fall into the safety anti-theft mode, causing no power to the starter because of that switch. So the way we found out it was that I switched the harness, because the trigger was bad on this harness until I switched it right now. I switched the harness, it cranked good after I plugged in the immobilizer all the way. Then it started giving me a code for crankshaft and camshaft position sensors. So swapped out the harness again, and then just ended up cutting the pigtail for or cutting the sensor or the plug-in off of the trigger switch of the other harness, and it cranked. And then after, redid the wiring for the fuel pump, started getting fuel, redid the trigger switch, and it instantly turned on. But the smallest fucking things on these cars cause them not to start, and it's annoying. It's annoying as shit, but it's part of the SRT4 life. I love it. That's why I keep doing it. I get frustrated, I get mad, I hate it, but at the end of the day, I know I love it. I love getting my hands dirty. I love doing this shit. It's just something in my blood and in my soul. While doing this, I have no other thought in the world. Nothing bugs me, nothing irritates me. The only thing I'm truly focused on is the car. And I love that feeling. Alrighty, today is the day we finally get to drive this thing, see how she performs on the actual road, do a couple pulls, see how my building skills have improved. But I did bring the flat tire, because I did have a flat tire. I had a nail in it, so I just put one of those little emergency $5 patches in it, and it actually works pretty good, and it's holding air. So we're gonna throw the tire on, get her started up for you guys. We're gonna probably give her a wash before we go rip it, but we'll see. I kind of do want to give it a wash before we do, but other than that, let's get this wheel on and let's go for a drive. Alrighty, we got the tire on. Now it's time to see if the car starts actually. Where the hell? Yeah, I did. They're in the back. Yeah. I want to know where I left the keys. Just had a heart attack because we thought we forgot the key or lost the keys, but car still seems like it has power. We'll see if she starts. Oh yeah, I gotta tighten the seat before we go. Let's see. First startup. She needs some E for sure though. No doubt. Sounds healthy though. Alright. Reverse gear feels a little gummy, but feels like it goes in. Moves back. First gear. Feels good. car would run better when it was cooler, but these cars, if they run too cold, it won't let you hit your proper amount of boost, even on a stock map. So it's always better to just run OEM, which is 180 degrees. They're cheap too. You can get them at O'Reilly's. That's where I get mine at. But it is going to be running a little hotter only because it's straight water, no coolant at all.
How you feeling, dog?
Excited, bro. You still got to hook up the full exhaust so we can have a full exhaust. But other than that, she's ready to go. She's ready to boogie. She's ready to have some fun. As you guys can see, this car just does not like small tires. It will not hook for shit with small tires. It just spins. Both me and Michael were just driving all over the place, bro. It's just fucking funny. Neons, man, they're a pain in the ass when you're building them. When you get them running, fucking perfect. But hope that inspired you guys to build a neon. I definitely recommend it if you guys want to get one. It's a good first car if you want to get mechanically inclined with a lot of things. So you can find them on OfferUp, stock turbo, maybe a little modified for like $3-4 grand, which is not bad for a starter car. These cars do require a lot of attention and a lot of maintenance, so if you're not up on maintenance, it's gonna be a little bit of trouble. But other than that, I mean, she's a beauty. She's a beauty. I low-key think, if you guys look right here, I low-key think the stock SRT 4 wheels just go with the car. It goes with the car. The black, not so much, but I feel like the stock color, if I get a set of full stocks, slam it, I think we should be good to go. So the only two things we do have left in the next video I'm going to show you guys how to do is installing the doors, because as you guys can see, this one's fucked up. We have a little bit of rust coming out on the door. The door cover, or whatever the hell you call these, the inner lining is coming off on this door. And then if you guys come over here, if you look at this door, I don't know if it's really noticeable on camera, but me and Michael were paying attention to it, and the paint's completely different than the rest of the black on the car. This door is the one that's mostly sun faded, which gives me reason to believe that this door wasn't part of this car. But the good thing is my back door on my old Neon is still good, so we're able to switch that one out, and the driver door